Yeah, man, 77 was a really significant year for General Motors because that was the year that they shrunk down all their big cars. Where they were once elaborate lanyards, they had been shrunk down, really actually in part due to the oil crisis. And basically they had noticed that the intermediate cars like Cutlasses and Grand Prix and all that, you know, Le Manses, I mean, and stuff like that, Buick Reals were maybe even selling more than the full-size cars. So they had to shrink these down. And you can see this Buick, it looks really original. Got a couple of dings here and there, unfortunately. It's got these fucking really old Keystone mags, which actually look like new. Yeah, something tells me those mags were put on there a long, long time ago. And also, what's unusual about this Buick is that there's no hood ornament on it. I don't know why. It's got no hood ornament. And look, unfortunately, look, it hit a pole or something. I had a friend, by the way, oh man, like, you know, over 15 years ago, he had one of these, but his was a Buick Lesabre Custom. The Custom was like the top of the line model. He had the vinyl roof. It had also like a flat color. It was orange. It had a white interior. It had the Buick mag wheels. It was a sweet ride. I remember riding it a lot. And then unfortunately one day, the frame broke on the back of it, and the bumper was hanging down, and sent it off to the scrapyard in Il Bizarre. The only thing I don't like about this show is, like, I love the oldies they play, but like it's distracting when I'm trying to talk. One of the things I love about these Buicks in these years was the gauges with the silver backs. That was really clever. Original radio. Man, this is as base model as you could get. This is such a base model, it might as well be a Chevy Impala. Actually, this car is rare when you think about it, because most of these cars I think were Lesabre Customs. Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Yeah, very cool. Brings back some souvenirs for me, man. Des souvenirs. Here's my friend 64 Parisien. And yeah, and I'm hoping for a thunderstorm there. Yeah, the clouds are rolling in. There could be a thunderstorm. Yeah. Yeah, my friend's Buick, man. The frames would break. They would break, unfortunately, right underneath the bumper, and they would hang right off the car. And that was the worst part about American cars back then. Even a lot of cars, they just were beautiful, but I don't know why the car companies didn't make the frames strong enough. They didn't make them big enough. It didn't seem to matter. And what's interesting about this Buick is, look, there's a little spot of rust there. See, what I think what happened with this car, somebody loved this car, right? So they drove it. They must have put it in the garage for like decades, and it was probably never driven. And then it came out recently. Oh, tabarnak, look at this. Here's a Caprice I was telling somebody about. Oh my God. Well, I would show you the other side of the car, but I never seen an old car at a car show where everybody was on that side of the car. So let's see if I can get a shot of it just to finish here. You know, most people would look at this car and they would say, it's just a gas-guzzling old car, and they wouldn't care. They wouldn't care. They'd be like, they probably would even say, why is it on the road? You know, they should be off the road, because they don't care. They don't see the importance of these cars like I do. And the guys of you like me who know these cars, where are you going to find a 77 Buick LeSabre Custom? You know, maybe the South, West Coast? I'm not even sure. It just all ended up in the junkyard, you know? So it's really neat to see. The type of car, the way it's conditioned, the way it is, you would see, it looks like something that I would see maybe parked somewhere in the street. C'est que regarde, les pneus en arrière sont plus gros que ceux en avant. Il a même mis un spacer, puis tu vois que la roue en arrière, elle sort plus que celui d'en avant.
C'est le mag. C'est le mag qui est comme ça.
Ouais?
Ouais. C'est le mag qui est comme ça.
I was telling the owner, it's interesting because it's like he's almost got like an old school hot rod, because he's got these Keystone mags. But look in the back tires, they're actually wider than the front, so they stick out more. Interesting. And it's a 301 V8, by the way, I should say. Je peux-tu voir le moteur? Ça te dérange? Ah, I don't care about that. Écoute, je filme les chars qui sont dans les rues. Je Je filme même des vieilles vannes, des campers. Moi, si c'est vintage, je veux le filmer parce qu'on n'est pas dans le sud où ils sont partout. Là, tu sais.
Ouais.
Non? Ben, j'avais... Ah, yeah. Good old 301, hein?
Ouais.
Mais c'est drôle parce que ces moteurs-là, tu sais, comparé au 305, ils étaient connus pour avoir plus de performance, plus de pep. Tu sais, ils mettaient ça dans les Firebird,
Plus
tout
de
ça.
torque. C'est ça, il était des Firebird.
Exactement.
79.
Il en reste même encore qui ont encore le 301 dedans.
Ouais.
Tu sais?
Ben, parce qu'ils ont quand même de la force. Ils sont économiques.
Ouais, puis anyway, il n'y a pas une énorme différence de pesanteur entre ça et une Firebird. Anyway, les crises de Firebird, le haut, il est long comme ça, tu sais.
Ouais.
Hey, c'est quelque chose, hein?